Good day, everyone. We are from Group 1 in Introduction to Management class, and today we are going to talk about one of the cases of Powell bookstores in Portland, which is one of the small businesses in the United States that will stop selling books through Amazon, one of the biggest businesses in the United States. Next, please. First of all, we would like to introduce about small businesses. A small business has been defined as a business that is privately owned by one individual or family-owned or a small group of individuals and has sellers and assets that are not large enough to influence its environment. Next, please. Small businesses are generally having a strong presence in all of the world's economies due to several reasons. First of all, most of the business found within a country is considered to be small businesses. Consequently, most of the workers in the country are also generally employed in the small businesses. For example, in the United States, 86% of all businesses employ fewer than 20 people, and around 80% of workers are employed in the businesses that employ 500 or under people. Besides that, the presence of small businesses also plays an important role in the development of big businesses. Most of the products made by big manufacturers are generally produced using services, supplies, and raw materials from small businesses. Other than that, small businesses generally become the mediator that make most of the products made by big manufacturers able to be bought by customers. Hence, it can be safely assumed that the economy will not grow without small businesses. Next, please. One of the examples of the small business is Powell Bookstore, which is the family-owned legendary independent bookstores founded in 1971 by Michael Powell and his father, Walter Powell, in the Portland, that become the first bookstores in the United States that sold new, used, and hard-to-find books on the same shelf. 4 decades later, the Powell bookstores currently sells books either online or in stores and continues to operate as a third-generation family-owned business with Emily Powell as an owner and the CEO. Powell Bookstores has the mission to be the world's best destination for readers, a place that fosters a culture of reading and connects people with the books they love. Next.
So small businesses often face a variety of challenges. And one of these are limited resources, like financial resources, human, and technological resources. So this can make it difficult for them to compete with larger businesses. And a lack of resources and businesses with lack of resources may struggle to operate effectively and sustain itself financially. So small booksellers like Powell's may have trouble purchasing inventory, promoting itself to potential customers, and maintaining the store. And without sufficient resources, the business may not be able to compete with other bookstores and could potentially go out of business if something happens. For example, Powell's bookstore has around 500 employees, and the revenue per employee ratio is about $90,000. And Powell's books peak revenue was $45 million in 2021. The average small business actually generates about $100,000 in revenue per employee, so it could be said that it is below the ideal amount. Another challenge is the limited brand recognition and difficulty attracting and retaining customers. So small businesses may struggle to establish their brand and gain recognition in a crowded market. And they may have a hard time attracting and retaining customers, especially if they are competing with larger, more established businesses. So one of Powell's locations, Powell's City of Books in Portland, is considered the largest new and used bookstore in both Portland and the world. Many Americans regard this as a place worth going when visiting the area. However, brand recognition isn't so high when a lot of customers depend on e-commerce to purchase books. Only certain people will find enjoyment in actually going to a bookstore, while most people would rather just purchase books online via Amazon. Also, Powell's social media presence is not all that sensational, having only 185,000 followers on Instagram and around 323,000 followers on Twitter. Their content is mainly attracts a few thousand likes at best, and in the wake of the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, going to the bookstore just isn't a priority anymore, and so Powell's marketing effort just doesn't do its job. Next. Another challenge is obviously competition from larger businesses. So Powell's may struggle to compete with a more established business bookstore that has more resources and brand recognition. For example, Barnes & Noble. It's a Fortune 1000 company, and it is the largest bookseller with the largest number of outlets in the US with 614 stores nationwide, whereas Powell's only has 4. So it could be regarded as a competitor for Powell's. It is also known for its large selection of books, as well as other media products such as DVDs, CDs, and games. The company has been in business for over 50 years and is one of the largest booksellers in the US. So as a result, it has a strong brand recognition and it's well known to a lot of people. And it has a reputation of offering a wide range of books, including bestsellers, new releases, and specialized titles. So that's also another challenge that Powell's may face. Another one is economic downturn. So obviously, the COVID-19 recession caused by government responses to the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted Powell's. And one of the main ways is by reducing foot traffic in physical stores. So with many people staying at home to reduce the spread of the virus, there have been fewer customers visiting Powell's bookstores. And this has had an impact on sales and revenue. Another way is by forcing the company to adapt to new safety measures. So this could include things like requiring customers to wear masks or installing hand sanitizing stations and implementing social distancing measures in stores. And so some people may not want to do this and make it so that they will no longer be willing to actually go to the store if they don't want to do this. And yeah.
So next, we're moving on to the impact of large corporations to small businesses. So there are actually 8 factors that we will discuss here. So the first one is competitions, where the big corporations have the power to support their business. For example, they can support through their model supports and the facilities through branding and etc. And the second one is stunt, where the big corporations have their way to stun their small business. The third one is the gatekeepers, where the big corporations use their powers as gatekeepers to reach customers as a way to actually extract fees and unfair terms on small business. The fourth one is the corner small businesses, where it results to small business unable to operate independently, whereas the big corporation concerned the online market, it makes smaller business unable to operate independently and blocking them from having their direct relationships with their customers. And for examples, on the April 2021, Amazon blocks most seller from their ability to show their brand identity and even reviewing customers' names and addresses. Next.
Next is the obligation to sell on the corporation side. So we believe that seller must sell on big corporation side in order to reach the market. However, online corporation algorithms could lead to sales of the store to evaporate overnight. The next one is copycatting, where the big corporations usually create their own version of popular products from the seller's data. Like, for example, a report has been claimed that Amazon has been using data from the third-party sellers to identify most popular products, creating their own versions and selling them with cheaper price. Next is the competition between small businesses. So big corporations like Amazon actually allows competition between small businesses. Like they compile small businesses into one and allow them to compete between each other in terms of cost to attract customers. And last one is the fair pricing policy, where the seller cannot offer their products with lower price on other platforms, including Amazon themselves. If the bots detect this, they will suppress the seller's sales by demoting their item in the search result. Thus, this will result to making the customers unable to view the products or making the sellers ineligible to win the buy box.
So next, so the governments have a role in the small business itself, right? So the role of the government is offers the grants, contract, and small business loans to help the small business to get started, because a small business need funds to make the business, right? And after they give grants or loans or contracts, they can give a tax credits and tax deductions to help the promote the business itself. And also COVID is already hit the business field, so the role of governments is help to give a local relief fund with the financing options where the business owner can access the low interest loans or grants, and also they can help in the halting and deferring their financial burdens by the deferring payroll tax. Next. So in the case of the Powell bookstores, governments can just do a financial support, such as the governments can give a subsides in the Amazon to help the Powell bookstores to reduce their selling costs in the Amazon. So the Powell bookstores can join again with the Amazon, so they can give the selling cost can be reduced, and the government can giving the money to the Powell bookstores to help the business development, such as make the interesting events so the people have a more interesting to the Powell bookstores, and also to help the business promotions. Next.
So I'm going to talk about the role of local communities in saving the small businesses. So these local communities could act as the customers and also could spread the words. For example, they could write a good review about their products, and also they could also act as the source of employee. This strong local community helps the small business in several aspects, such as supporting their business by choosing to buy from them, as well as help to promote and gives business building feedback, which can be useful to upgrade their business strategy and quality. The small business also don't usually have the means to invest in big marketing programs, so referrals and word of mouth could make a major differences. However, in today's world, a great deal of consumers research happens online, especially from the pandemic. That means that it would be most helpful by taking stories and or a great service and quality of the products to the internet too. Lastly, the local community could also be the source of employee, as well as helping them to fill in the open position. The local communities are able to help by tapping into their own network, then recommending people from different positions. In this, next please. In this case, in the Powell bookstore, local communities could help them by giving support in many ways, such as through the online purchase, and also a good review posted online through the website, Instagram, or article. Through these ways, Powell bookstore might be able to survive, since more people will be familiar with this bookstore through the good online review, and more people will buy books from them. Next. Okay, thank you for listening. This is all our presentation, and thank you.